Hello and welcome to Progressive Education Society's Modern College of Pharmacy, Nigri, Pune. Myself, Dr. Bhushan Pimpri. In this video, we will discuss about plant allergens. The subtopics related to this plant allergen chapter are its introduction, classification, plants causing hay fever, allergy, or idiosyncrasy, and how to prepare allergenic extracts and what are the various applications of allergenic extracts. Particularly in this video, we will be focusing upon introduction and classification. Allergy or hypersensitivity is any unusual immunological response towards an antigen or an allergen. That means generally the antigen can invade any person, but the person who is able to show immunological reaction will be termed as hypersensitive individual or allergic individual. And what are allergens? These are the agents that can stimulate our immune system in order to generate unusual immunological response. So only those substances that are capable of sensitizing the body in order to generate immunological responses will be termed as allergens, and this specifically is confined to hypersensitive individuals. The allergen can be of chemical or biological or even physical origin. Usually, the allergens are dust, uh, pollen grains, the fur or lint of fibers, and certain medicines. These are the very common allergens. Now we'll see what are the various factors responsible for causing allergic reactions in an individual. The basic and the foremost factor is an atmospheric factor, wherein during different climatic conditions, the plants they give up different chemicals. Like for example, in during flowering seasons, they give out pollen grains, simultaneously certain perfumes in order to attract the insects. But these pollen grains or perfumes can cause allergy in certain hypersensitive individuals. Later on, certain plants they give spores, or certain plants even they give out the seeds by dispersal mode, and these seeds they remain they being microscopic, pollen grains, they remain floating in the air, and if inhaled by an individual can cause certain allergic reactions. Further, chronic infection. If at all a person is suffering from prolonged infection like tuberculosis or fungal diseases or even certain bacterial or abdominal intestinal problems related to infection, in that case, his immune system will be already in an active mode, or we can say it will be already in a stimulated condition. So further entry of an allergen or antigen into the body will make the system more complicated or further aggravate such immunological responses. Psychological status do contribute in causing allergy, such as if a person is suffering from depression or is in a depressed condition, the immune system will be in an activated state and further create problem or aggravate the allergic conditions. Hepatic dysfunction is one of the major factor that can cause allergic reaction, because liver is known to neutralize the antigens or neutralize the allergens and throw them out of the body. But in case of liver cirrhosis, jaundice, or even certain liver disorders, the normal functioning of the liver will be affected, wherein the allergen will stay in the body for a prolonged duration, causing uh, certain complexes in the body, like with the protein. And these complexes will be sensed or identified by the body as certain foreign body, and in response to that the body generates antibodies and can cause immunological reactions. Another factor is genetic inheritance. The genes responsible for allergy pass from parents to offsprings. Now, depending upon the offspring that has got the allergic gene will and also the expression of such allergic gene can make an individual allergic to a particular component. It is not that um, a single allergic gene will be responsible for causing all types of allergy. Uh, every person will be allergic to certain chemicals or certain uh, phytoconstituents. So he may develop a gene, or his body will develop certain antibodies. So such kind of genes will be transmitted to his offsprings. Usually it has been seen that if either of the parents are allergic, 50% of their offsprings will be able to show allergic reactions. Now we'll have a look at the mechanism, by the way, how allergic reactions occur. Suppose an allergen here will be termed as an antigen, as most of the allergic reactions are immunological reactions. So in immunological reactions, the antigen or foreign body will be termed, or allergen will be termed as an antigen. Upon entry of the antigen, this antigen forms a complex or attaches with antibody for generation or formation of antigen antibody complex. Now, it is very essential for our body to form antigen antibody complex in order to exhibit certain symptoms, and these antigen antibody complexes will initiate the liberation or secretion of inflammatory mediators such as leukotrienes, bradykinins, or histamines, which are responsible for pain, inflammation, burning sensation, or itching. So unless antigen antibody complexes are formed, these mediators won't be released. There are numerous types of allergic reactions uh, based upon the localization of this antigen antibody complex. That means where it goes and stays inside the body. Depending upon that, the allergic reactions are broadly classified into two categories. One is localized. Suppose if this antigen antibody complex resides into is confined to a particular part of the body, then it will show localized reaction such as burning sensation, inflammation, or swelling or pain to a particular part of the body. Whereas if the same complex migrates from the blood or lymph fluid throughout the body, it experiences, or the body experiences, the same reaction throughout the body. It gives out, it shows the same symptom throughout the body, which is normally seen as itching all over the body, fever accompanied by rash over the body. So these kind of reactions will be are called as generalized type of allergic reaction. So there are basically two: localized reaction and generalized reaction. Further, the another way of classification of these reactions is dependent uh, uh, upon the type of reactions, like suppose formation of tissue sensitizing antibodies. These will be are called as anaphylactic shocks. These occur very immediately and at a faster rate within minutes. Like on subsequent, suppose if a person is exposed to an antigen or allergen, his body will immediately secrete the mast cells or leukocytes, and upon subsequent administration of the same antigen either through nose or mouth, his body will immediately release histamine, leukotrienes, and that can cause urticaria or anaphylactic shocks, and even asthma within certain minutes. So these are called as anaphylactic shocks. An Another type is type 2 reaction, also called as autoallergy, wherein the allergen combines with our body proteins, usually plasma proteins, and this it forms a complex, and this complex is identified as a foreign protein by the body, and in response to this foreign protein, the body secretes antibodies. Now that becomes autoallergy. Auto means the self. Self means self proteins. The body is allergic to self proteins. The third type of reaction is wherein antigen antibody complexes, they attract the leukocytes. We know leukocytes, generally lymphocytes, uh, and monocytes, the agranulocytes, they have an ability of diapedesis. That means they can travel outside the blood capillaries to certain target tissue. So if antigen antibody complexes are residing into a particular target tissue, these leukocytes can travel out of the capillary and reach the target site or site of reaction. There, they keep on engulfing the antigen antibody complexes and can also trigger the release of inflammatory mediators. So, usually, this type 3 reaction is localized type of reaction. And the last one, type 4 reaction, it is called as delayed type of allergy, or it is very slow kind of reaction, wherein the body secretes antigen specific receptors, or it secretes T lymphocytes, and upon and subsequent entry of the allergen, this will lead to local or tissue allergy, like contact dermatitis, or we can call it as a rash. Uh, this is generally called as a contactant type of allergen. We will be having a look at the type of or the classification of allergens further, but these are the four types of reactions, um, allergenic reactions. Exhibition of symptoms. The body of every individual has a different makeup. So different individuals will exhibit different symptoms for the same allergen. Now, immunogenic reactions, they require the presence of antibody, and usually the antibody involved in this kind of allergic reaction is IgE, immunoglobulin E antibodies. What happens is the IgE, they bind to the receptors present on the mast cells. The mast cells are the cells of our connective tissue, which keep on moving. That is, these are mobile cells, and they contain granules filled with histamine, bradykinin, leukotriene. So, upon stimulation of mast cells, they give out their granules, or they release their granules, the contents of the granules into the body fluids. This process is called as mast cell degranulation. And in order to effect mast cell degranulation, formation of IgE is very important. And this will further trigger the various symptoms. There are two types of exposure. First is primary exposure. Primary means wherein first time the antigen is entering into the body. Since our body has not yet secreted or designed antibody for this new foreign body, so because of absence of antibodies, there will be no antigen antibody complex formation. So there will be no reaction and it will not show any symptoms. The body will not show any symptom upon primary exposure. But later, on subsequent exposure, if the same antigen enters again inside the body has now already developed antibody from the previous exposures. These antibodies will cause immunogenic reactions and show symptoms. This process is very similar to vaccination. Why do we vaccinate? Is we give out the antigen into the body in order to develop the antibodies, and upon subsequent exposure to the same antigen, like suppose polio virus, since the body has already developed antibodies, the person will not be able to suffer from polio virus. Why do we observe variation in symptoms of allergic reaction is because of immunosuppression. Suppose if a person is on immunosuppression therapy, usually this is in case of arthritis or organ transplantation, these individuals will not be able to exhibit symptoms, or even if they exhibit symptoms, the severity of the symptoms will be too low or less. Then immunomodulation, certain individuals are consuming daily immunomodulators either in the form of drugs or food. So if at all the person's immune system is in an aggravated or activated mode, he will there are likely possibilities that he may exhibit the symptoms more prominently. Physical and mental condition, this varies from person to person, therefore the symptoms also vary. Further, comorbidities or presence of certain diseases can change the degree or amplitude of the symptoms. Some types of allergic reactions produce multiple symptoms, and most of them they are very severe, such as anaphylaxis. Uh, and the signs of anaphylaxis can be noted as dyspnea, that is difficulty in breathing, immediate difficulty in breathing within certain minutes, then difficulty in swallowing, the way how we experience during cold, the throat gets choked up and it becomes very difficult for us to gulp down certain food particles or even water. Swelling of lips, tongue or throat or other part of the body is also one of the indication of anaphylaxis. Then dizziness and loss of consciousness. So these are the predominant symptoms of anaphylaxis, and it can be fatal. Therefore, these symptoms are to be identified properly, and the person needs to be diagnosed or treat accordingly. Now we will just briefly go through the classification. Uh, Allergens are classified on the basis of their route of entry into the body. First type is inhalent allergens, wherein the allergens enter through nose or mouth. Ingestant allergen, generally the food allergens. Injectant allergen, mosquito bite or the pricking of certain thorns of plants, or sometimes injections of different medicines like sulfa drugs and all. Then infectant allergen, wherein the infection by certain fungi or bacteria can cause allergy. Infestant allergen, wherein the endoparasites of our body like hookworm, tapeworm, pinworm, they release certain chemicals that can make a person allergic. And contactant allergen, wherein the plants, if they come in contact with our skin, it shows allergic reaction. So this is just the brief overview about classification. Regarding the detailed classification or details of these classes, we will have a look in the next video.